You hear a lot about how awful Denuvo is and how much PC gamers hate it, but you don't often get just a straightforward explanation as to why, and that's nobody's fault. That's just the nature of the beast at this point. People have been complaining about Denuvo for so long that a lot of us have just gotten to the point where we expect everyone to know why everyone else is complaining. But for those that don't know, I just want to get everyone on the same page as to why Denuvo is so controversial before we really dive into the main topic of this video. Because in order for us to make fun of all the people defending Denuvo, we have to understand why Denuvo is so hated in the first place. So, put simply, Denuvo Anti-Cheat and Denuvo DRM are software that a lot of big name publishers use to prevent piracy and cheating. Nothing wrong with trying to prevent piracy and cheating, but the reason Denuvo specifically is so controversial is because it has been proven to cause performance issues in the games it's implemented in, and there's also just the added red flag of a game forcing additional software onto your computer that constantly runs in the background, and if it's not functioning properly by no fault of the game developer and no fault of the gamer themselves, it can result in the game just being inaccessible. There are countless examples of games with Denuvo that run significantly better once Denuvo is removed via modding or cracking. And on top of that, it's not even like Denuvo is a perfect system. It's not like putting Denuvo in the game actually prevents it from being pirated or tampered with. So by putting Denuvo in your game, you're making the product worse for the paying customer while also punishing them for playing fair, because the people that you were trying to protect your game from are just going to either pirate the game anyways or go somewhere else, if you get what I'm saying. Denuvo doesn't actually protect games from pirates because the pirates will either find a way around it or they'll just not play the game at all. Habitual pirates who never buy any games are not going to turn around and pay $70 for a game just because Denuvo's in there. So you're quite literally sacrificing the game's performance and functionality in order to protect the product from a group of people who were never going to engage with the product in your preferred way in the first place. And on top of all that, there is the inexcusable fact that putting Denuvo in a game means you are giving the paying customers an objectively worse product and effectively punishing them for the actions of pirates. And before anybody comments, oh, but not every Denuvo game gets hurt in the performance, it's all about how the Denuvo is implemented. It's not Denuvo itself. I have two rebuttals to that. First of all, there are several high-profile examples of games gaining 20 to 30 frames per second immediately upon disabling Denuvo. But second of all, even if you want to make the argument that performance dips are a result of poor Denuvo implementation and not the result of Denuvo itself, glossing over the fact that sometimes Denuvo will mean your game just doesn't work at all if Denuvo is not working properly. But let's just go with the idea that the technical problems with Denuvo are because of the implementation and not because of Denuvo itself. If that's the case, the issue still falls on Denuvo, because you are agreeing that if Denuvo wasn't there, the performance issues wouldn't be there either. Would they? And mind you, that's all the very simplified version of why Denuvo is controversial. There are other reasons why PC gamers hate Denuvo, and those have to do with what Denuvo is doing on your machine when you're not looking. And for those reasons, I'll just throw this screenshot on screen, and you can pause and read it if you want. It's a more detailed technical explanation from someone on Reddit as to why Denuvo is such a technical mess. But if you want a different Reddit comment that sums it up well, here's one from a deleted user that simply says, "It's consumer unfriendly. Gaming companies basically say, hey, if you want to play our game, you have to pay $60 or $70, and you have to tolerate that we install this software on your PC that has nothing to do with the game itself, but has a lot of potential downsides to your experience. Why should anybody be okay with that?" And frankly, that should be enough for us to just be all on the same page and move on. But what if I told you, dear viewer, that there are people out there who actually defend Denuvo? What if I told you that there are actually a ton of posts on the Steam forums defending this garbage being shoved into their computers? A while back, a viewer DM'd me and asked if I was aware of all the people defending Denuvo, and I was like, what? People defend Denuvo? And then they hit me with a giant fucking folder of screenshots of examples, so massive shout out to Dreamari for taking the bullet in the brain and compiling all this nonsense for me, because this video would not be possible without them. I had no idea this stuff was even going on. But now, with all of our established context, let's take a look through the Steam forums and just see how good the Denuvo defenders are at making their favorite corpos look super awesome and consumer friendly, and definitely not just reducing the quality of the products being sold. This is going to be a long video. So these screenshots are from all over the place, but they're all on Steam. They're all in the forums for games that have Denuvo. And let's just look into this. Let's see what people are saying. Someone posts, what is Denuvo? Why don't people like it? I don't know what this is, but I hope someone explains it. And the first comment, Corpo bad, free games good. Denuvo stop free games, make angry. There's a lot of people who like to simplify the argument down to just the piracy thing, trying to argue that the only people upset about Denuvo are the pirates and not just people who feel like it's a disrespectful thing to do to your consumer. Because like we established, adding Denuvo to your game at best introduces a bunch of potential technical problems that you wouldn't have otherwise. That is the best case scenario. Why would it just be the pirates that take issue with that? And also, in case this hasn't been made clear, Denuvo games can still be pirated. It's not even like they're sacrificing the technical integrity of the game for a 100% win rate. Womi says, some hacker made a rumor it's bad for your PC. They just mad they can't pirate Denuvo. Oh, okay. So it's all a myth then. A hacker made a rumor that Denuvo is bad for your PC. A hacker started a rumor. Good lord. How many screenshots have to be shared of that stupid, like, Denuvo is not working, like, Denuvo is not installed? All those games that take a hit in the frame rate because of Denuvo? And again, it's not even like Denuvo's perfect. It's not even like it has 100%, like, pirate kill rate. You can get around it and pirate these games anyway, so truly, what is the benefit of this? This person says, Denuvo is an anti-tamper, anti-piracy measure. People hate it because it prevents them from stealing the game. But it's illegal to say they want to steal the game, so they lie and pretend it's a performance issue. It's not illegal to say you want to steal something. That's not illegal. What? And I love this. I love people who are like this, like, they lie and pretend it's a performance issue. It's not a lie. It's just not. I'll say it a million times. Putting Denuvo in the game, at best, produces potential technical problems. Just because the technical problems don't happen for you all the time, or just because they're not always as bad as they could be, they are still potential problems being introduced to the game that wouldn't be there otherwise. Like, this isn't hard to understand. You can argue it's not because of Denuvo itself. You can argue it's because of the implementation. But if Denuvo wasn't there, we wouldn't be talking about this in the first place. That's the problem. Person says, Denuvo is security that complicates Marker. That complicates software privacy. Marker. Denuvo is security that complicates software privacy. Complicates software piracy. Why was that hard? Pirates hate things that impede them. They will often devise long, wordy, and exaggerated justifications for their dislike of things that impede them. The only thing they enjoy more than stealing software is arguing about how bad things are that impede them. I'm sorry, did you just accuse pirates of using long, wordy, exaggerated justifications? Is that actually the stone that you just threw? What's happening? Hello, I'm interrupting this video to remind you that this channel is sponsored by 4D Gaming. If you would like a really nice mousepad, go to 4dgaming.com and use code Joe for a discount. This channel is also sponsored by Glitch Energy. It's basically G Fuel, but better, so go to Glitch Energy and use code Joe for a discount. Thank you for letting me interrupt your content. I'll let you keep watching it now. This person says, 2 things I like about Denuvo. 1, the entertaining rage and butt damage it causes, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. The pre-release hype period was juicy. 2, all PC footage videos on YouTube are using a copy that was paid for. No free rides, son, for increasing hits on your videos and maybe monetizing the content. Apart from that, I have no reason to like it, yada yada yada. You are aware that you can download YouTube videos, right? Like, you're aware that if you were really insisting on publishing YouTube videos of a game's gameplay without paying for the game, if that really was truly your, like, life's goal, Denuvo is not stopping that. Even a little bit. What is this? Like, I appreciate the desire to stick up for the YouTubers, but, This angle was a weird one. This person is responding to a thread and says, if Denuvo is ensuring more revenue gets to developers, then it's not anti-consumer. Exactly the opposite. Allowing free access to product consumers pay for is anti-consumer. Piracy is anti-consumer. So if Denuvo ensures more revenue goes to developers, it's not anti-consumer. Which means if people don't buy a game because of Denuvo, Denuvo is now anti-consumer. Thanks for giving us this line of argument. I don't think you meant to open that door, but I'm glad you did, because now I win the argument. And I wasn't even going to think of it that way. Appreciate it. This one's fun. Stick with this one. It's kind of long, but it gets wacky at the end. So you say people are really crying not for piracy, but for games requiring internet to play because of Denuvo. But you know all digital games with or without Denuvo require verification. All games on PC except from GOG requires internet connection and verification to play. It's not Denuvo's fault. If anybody is crying for that on PC, he entered PC World without really knowing how it works. So already, if you're upset about requiring online checks on the PC, it's because you just don't know how PC works, you idiot. What a helpful perspective this is. It's just easier to admit that people complaining about Denuvo want to pirate the game. It's not realistic guys crying because it's needed internet connection and Denuvo verification to play when everybody these days has internet. So it's okay for online policies and online checks on games because everyone has the internet. Everyone has internet access. That's why it's okay for additional firewalls between you and the product you already paid for. Phenomenal argument. Oh, and he's not done yet. The reality is that Denuvo has eradicated piracy on PC that was enormous, and that bothers many people, and then cries lying about Denuvo breaking performance and other lies. So not only is it a lie that Denuvo introduces performance issues, but the only people crying about Denuvo and upset about Denuvo, it's because these people are bothered that Denuvo eradicated piracy. It eradicated piracy. The anti-piracy software that doesn't even have a 100% anti-piracy rate has eradicated piracy, and that's why people don't like it. You are a fucking clown show. Drunk Canadian says, has Denuvo no money for you, Sega? I wonder how many sales this anti-consumer software will save. Sarcasm. But then he gets a response. Do you get mad at anti-theft tags on expensive items in stores or homes with security systems? Are you offended when folks lock their car doors or lock their bikes up? Is your rig so broke down and archaic that Denuvo causes performance issues? Oh, so we agree now that Denuvo causes performance issues. Interesting. But yeah, this analogy doesn't work because when you buy an expensive thing in a store that has an anti-theft tag, the tag gets taken off once you leave the store, and you never have to think about it again. The tag doesn't stay on the thing you bought after you take it home. That's the point of it. It's on when it's in the store, and then after you pay for it, it's gone. Do you see why this analogy is bad? Are you offended by car door locks or bike locks? No, I'm not offended by something that ensures to me, the person who bought the thing, that my thing will not be taken from me. And I can disable that lock at any time that I want. Do you see why this analogy is bad? This one's fun. It says, guys, complaining about Denuvo is like admitting you are a pirate, and the fact that devs use this strong DRM shows how good Denuvo is. Specifically with your complaints, just buy the game. Imagine going this low on a Steam forum. Everyone knows. Just if you complain about this thing, it's because you're a pirate. No other reason. Yar, put on the eye patch, kid. Fucker. Get on your ship. Go claim booty, as it were. There's no other reason to be upset about this. None at all. Just do what the corpo says and give them your money. Hey, give corpos all your money. Hey, give them to me. Of course it works. Do some research and you'll see how many games are still uncracked to date after many years. But how many of them are cracked? There is no problems associated with Denuvo itself. factually not true. I haven't had any issues at all. Oh, if you haven't had issues, then surely everyone else is lying about everything. So ideally, you should back your statement to why Denuvo is such a huge problem instead of pulling nonsense out of your ass. I've already done that like 50 times in this video, so I won't do it again. We'll just move on with this comment because wow. Complaining about Denuvo is like saying you are a pirate. I did never accuse anyone of being a pirate, but why else would you complain about a functioning DRM then? I'm not accusing anyone of being a pirate, but if you complain, you're a pirate. I don't have anything to prove to you. I already own the game. You can't know if he bought the games or got them through giveaways anyway as an example. Also, it don't mean anything. Also, if it only took a week to crack, then Denuvo have managed to done one of the more important things with game releases. I would be really surprised if that happened.
I'm starting to think we need to intervene on you for your goddamn illiteracy.
Yeah, Charlie, you are getting real dumb.
Come on, all right. See, this is what I'm talking about. Illiteracy. You know, what does that word even mean? Come on.
This person says, people still complain about anti-cheat in games? Grow up. You guys are acting like such babies. The only thing Denuvo does is prevent people from pirating the game. Oh, and also it can prevent you from playing the game at all. But Joe, that doesn't always happen. But it happens sometimes, and that's the problem. Shut the fuck up, Joe. One more. I am so sick and tired of this anti-Denuvo fear-mongering. Denuvo does nothing to your PC at all. I play games with Denuvo all the time, and guess what? Nothing happened. All I see is a bunch of fear-mongering in Denuvo. If Denuvo does nothing, and it never has any impact on anything, why is it there? If it doesn't do anything, why is it there? Oh, lordy. This was a long one. This was a long one. So yeah, huge shout out for sending me the screenshots. I appreciate that. I'm bulk recording videos today because I'm out of town for my anniversary this week. Hooray! Everyone say hooray! There's a donation link down below if you want to donate to my, buy nice food for my wife fund down there if you want to. Oh boy, the number of people just openly willing to go to bat for anything a corporation says is wild to me. Denuvo doesn't benefit you. Denuvo punishes you and does so in the name of punishing people who aren't you and who aren't punished by this. Full stop. Nothing else matters after that. There are other problems after that, but none of them should matter after that because the conversation should end there. Denuvo is not required for a PC game to be successful, as evidenced by all the successful games that don't use it. Denuvo is not a perfect tool for stopping piracy, as evidenced by all the Denuvo games that get pirated and cracked anyways. And just stop defending it. Stop. Just stop defending it. I don't get why people feel they have to do this. No one told you you had to defend Denuvo. So, what's the point of doing this? Ugh, okay, anyways, toodles.